Oh dear. Good afternoon, beautiful people. I hope you're all well. I am beyond excited to have the gorgeous Cathy with me today, who we have been basically working together one-on-one for the last 6 months. And we have now concluded the course, and we thought it was a beautiful time to come and share a little bit about Cathy's experience. Well, Cathy's going to share about it. But Cathy, thank you so much for joining me. Cathy is an NLP practitioner, business coach, and public speaker. So thank you, Cathy.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
So why don't we start off with you telling me a little bit about who you were and where you were before we worked together?
So, who I was and where I was, that's a funny question, that, because I don't think I knew who I was, actually. I knew that I'd been through a lot of trauma in my life, and that had become me, that had become the person that I was, and it was stopping me in everything that I did. I'd been running a business for 7 years, and although I've moved up the marketing plan, I didn't move up the marketing plan with purpose. I moved up the marketing plan like this. I wasn't actually in charge of my business. I wasn't in charge of any part of my life, to be honest. I was just winging it.
But you didn't think that at the time, though, right?
Oh, no. No. I just thought I had to work harder. I just thought, you got to work harder, got to work harder. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to work like a crazy woman, you know. That is what I thought.
And so you were kindly introduced to me through a friend.
I was.
So what was your perception of coaching before we started working together?
So actually, to be really, really honest, when my friend recommended you to me, I was like, oh, amazing, brilliant. I'll drop her a message. I never did. Because I just wasn't sure. I knew the girl that was recommended it to me, you know, would only recommend something that was good. But, you know, for me, I've been through lots of people saying, come and do this, and this will help you with this, this will help you with this, and it doesn't. So I was a little bit, I don't really need this. However, we was at an event and she bumped into me and she said, did you give her a ring? She's amazing, isn't she? And I was like, no, I've lost the number. And I said, honestly, send me the number again, please. I need something and I will give her a ring. And that is what I did. I literally got the number, and I think I popped you a message I can't honestly remember. It feels like an old me, that. And we kind of went from there, didn't we?
Yep. You said, let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
on board.
it.
I'm all in, I think, were the words.
But I
that
didn't know
you
what I was all in at, did I? I was just all in. I needed something. I didn't know what. And
Yeah.
you were the recommendation.
So
Thank God.
that's interesting, isn't it? Because even though you knew I was a mindset coach, and you've probably come across mindset before.
Yeah, many times. I've worked with others. I've been to watch some of the big ones speak. I just never fit. Never fit. It all seemed like hocus pocus. Sorry.
You don't need to apologize to me, because I get it. And I think all of us have been there at some point or another. My initial understanding of mindset was well off. I just thought it was like having a good attitude and a positive outlook, which I thought I had. Turns out I didn't.
I definitely didn't have a good mindset. Definitely not. But
yeah.
I was also so broken that I was never going to share my stories. Never. Because they were personal stories that hurt. And there was nobody out there that I would ever let in, ever. It just wouldn't happen.
That's an interesting one, Cathy, isn't it? Because we didn't. I basically said to you, we don't need to open the can of worms. Let's work with where we are and what you want to create, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I actually remember a time, just skipping forward a little bit, when I remember a time when I was like, oh, this group we're talking about, it's taking me away from where I should be. And it was just the way you answered that made me like, actually, no, it's not. It's all going into alignment,
Mm.
you know. So I didn't know what to expect with you. I had no idea. I never thought, I'm telling you now, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think, ever, that I would open up to somebody, but be okay with that. I never thought I would. I never knew I would. I never knew what we was going to talk about. So yeah, it's been a crazy 6 months. And that's just 6 months. Imagine me having 12 months next.
Wow. Yeah. So we moved from the Cathy who wanted to work on the existing business, figure out what wasn't working there. So where do we get to, Cathy? Where do you
Where,
feel what's
where am
happened in
I?
6 months?
Oh my God. 6 months went so fast. We didn't even know it was 6 months, did we? The
No.
Cathy that came was not comfortable. She wasn't happy with her life. She wasn't happy with herself. She wasn't happy with things that had happened in life. I carried a heck of a lot of guilt, and I brought it into the business because I didn't really like making friends, because I'd been let down so massively in my life. Making friends was like, oh, just the thought of it was just not for me. However, I'm in a networking business, so it's kind of in, the title. And I found it really, really hard. I remember our first couple of sessions thinking, I'm not going to talk about my past, no matter what, and it's just not, I will always have this. And then you started to teach me about how what happens in our past becomes our story. And when we tell that story over and over and over again, it is real, because the brain can't tell the difference. And I was living in that state consistently. And I couldn't tell you how you did it because I don't know. One of my biggest things that I tell people about you is the way you see things is completely different to other people, completely different. So whoever watches this, they will probably have that friend that if they ring them up and say, oh, our Joe's not come home from school, they will be like, oh, ring the police, do this, do that. Rah. Whereas you would be like, okay, calm down. Did you say you could go to his friend? And it is the complete turnaround of how you deal with things that then got me opening up, because I knew then I was in a safe space. I could discuss it. You wouldn't feel disgusted with me because you didn't think like that, and that was what completely changed everything. Absolutely. It was like somebody banging the egg on the table before they crack it, to make it a bit loose. You were like banging my head for a couple of months, and then you went crack and it all came out. It's really hard to explain it to you. Like, as a person, you changed my complete life. Absolutely, 1,000,000% changed my life. She will tell you, I hated journaling. I couldn't do it. I couldn't meditate. I don't do affirmations because it's for weirdos, I thought. But it's not, it's for winners. And I was saying sorry, I talk a lot, but I was saying to Marie earlier that I did a training in a group of 6.5K people in there, teaching them how to journal. You can't write that though, can you? Like, it's something that I hated, I now love so much. And that you probably done that in 2 sessions. It wasn't a lot to get me to that place. And it wasn't because you made me do anything. It was just you understood who I was, where I was coming from, and nothing shocked you.
Super powerful. I think for me, so much of it is that initial understanding. Like all those tools, you can chat about them till you're blue in the face, but until you really understand why they work and where a lot of those ideas come from and how we can start to reprogram the mind, that's when it changes how you feel about doing it, right?
Yeah, because I remember thinking with my journaling, I don't know what to journal. I'll get it wrong. I always get it wrong. And I remember you saying, Kath, it's just your thoughts. just write them down on a piece of paper. And I write them down all the time. I was scared because years and years ago, somebody had read my diary. And I was worried about journaling in case somebody found that. Well, I'm not now. I'm not, because whatever I put in my journal is how I feel. They're my feelings. Not everybody might feel that, but that's how I feel. And I find myself now so much more open about my past, which is crazy.
Which is not easy, is it? Because it's not just your past.
Yeah, no, obviously, there's others involved in my past, and I have lost a couple of them on my small journey. But where I wouldn't have wanted to do that and fall out with anybody, I have to share what can help others, because my trauma and upset is going to be somebody else's blueprint to get to where I am now, with you involved, obviously. Honestly, I'm going to stalk her. Not getting rid of me.
In fact, but that is actually a big part of it for you, isn't it? Because I feel like you underplayed where you had already got to and what had taken to get to that place and the transformation that had already happened. Right, I know there's been a big one in the last 6 months, but even before then, it was almost like, do you think like you'd just shut yourself off from almost feeling?
Yeah, completely. I didn't feel anything. I used to laugh with my friends that I had and say, like, swinging brick in my chest, can't get hurt. And I didn't. If one of the kids said, I'm falling out with you, I'd be like, okay, don't speak to me. And I wouldn't speak to them until they came and spoke to me. That's how stubborn I was, because I was protecting me. I'm not like that now, though, thank goodness. And I know there was massive growth to go through what I've gone through to get where I am. But when your mind doesn't recognize that, you don't feel it. And I didn't feel it. I just felt like this ashamed girl who couldn't process, let alone what had gone on, but process her feelings in real life now.
And of course, that all of those feelings were impacting how you were showing up, how you were sharing, and how you were being seen or not seen and connecting. So yeah, I think for me that was it was just shining a light and going, oh, do you think that this could be why you're doing this and or not doing this, as the case may be? And that was yeah. And of course the Cathy before we worked together, how would you describe her day-to-day life? Like, was it, I don't know,
Mundane.
mundane? What about not just on the work side, but on the family
Life.
side?
Mundane.
Mundane.
So I do have my grandchildren a lot. But because I was so hard on myself, I was also so hard on my children. So I would be not understanding what they're going through in a sense of parenting them. So I would get frustrated and upset because I kind of know where you can go if you've not got this tight knit. And all. I know it's hard to explain, but it was all a protection mechanism. Don't do this because this will happen. Don't do this because this will happen. And it was constantly like, if you keep doing that, that could happen. And if that happens, I'm going to get hurt. I know that sounds really selfish, but it's very true. And I remember there being a major meltdown in the family, and I think our sessions had actually finished then. And I still messaged you, and you messaged me back with an understanding. And ever since then, I can see past it now and see how they feel. And there is still a lot of people out there that say things about other people whose lives are not perfect, and I may have done that as well back before this mindset. Whereas now I just see so different. I see completely different.
Yeah, it's one thing managing our own lives, but with that dynamic with other people is quite another matter, isn't it? And I think there is often that desire to fix and to save and to protect, and that actually can be, well, disempowering. It can actually stop them from going through something that they need to experience and learn.
Agreed completely. Because I was just trying to put everything into a box and almost control it so that I knew that everything would be okay. And I know it
And
needs, yeah,
understandably.
yeah,
There's
to
a lot
keep
of
them
things that's not
safe,
been.
but it wasn't healthy. It definitely wasn't healthy. And, you know, being able to take other approaches now, which was something that I couldn't do in my parenting, I would say that it's growing a lot more than it was even before then. And don't get me wrong, now I can say this, I've always been a good mum and a good nan, but now I've really got an understanding of it. And I don't have to be scared because you know what? They're their own mistakes.
Yeah, powerful. Powerful. I love it. So, if you had to sum up who you are now and
Wow.
where you're going, what would you say?
I'm on the biggest journey of my life because now I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So I did my NLP and I will be launching something in the next 2 months that is going to be huge, that helps other women who have been through traumas. I am no longer scared to stand up in front of people and to tell them what I think they need to know to help them along that journey. I'm not scared of anybody going, "Oh, you've been through, oh, you've had that." You know, I'm so good with where I am right now that nothing could ever bother me. And the thing is mindset is a journey. It is not a destination. You are never, ever, ever, ever going to get to it. And I work on it every single day. I journal, I do everything. I listen to motivation. Still not quite mastered the meditation yet, but I'm working on it because I know what it's given me. In a nutshell, it's a complete new life that even my family don't recognize. I'm a
Maybe.
completely different person in the same body. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going swimming twice a week. I'm petrified of water. You know, I nearly drowned when I was a kid, and I didn't even realize that was what was stopping me. I just don't like water. And here I am now swimming twice a week. I've actually got swimming tonight. And I feel good. There's no rush in it. It's relaxed. You've changed my life. I could spend the next hour telling you things that have changed, without a doubt.
The energy that you give off, Cathy, is just electric. I absolutely love it. And
Can't help it.
I'm just so excited for where you're going to be, because your story is important and your people do need you. And I'm just, yeah, I also know that this is just the beginning. And I
And
know
I'm
it's not
sorry
just
to
impacted you.
interrupt, but I needed to say this before I forget it. I have made so many new friends, and I'm not talking one or two, I'm talking 70 to 80 to 90 new friend requests or followers every day.
Wow. And they're actually friends. It's not icky.
I don't ask them about business. I'm not interested. I'm in 10 groups called empty nesters because my children have grown. And do you know what? Being around people that are like you, because it's okay to be who I am now. I'd have never done that without you. Never.
That's amazing.
So sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. Because anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So it's not just, of course, your life that has impacted. It is obviously going to have that ripple effect, not just for your new businesses and your existing business, but your family and your friends. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Gosh, there's so much. I mean, Freya, we know Freya has complex needs and she really struggles with her feelings. I mean, really struggles. She just cannot manage them. She cannot understand them. And I see it where she shouts and screams all the time. And that's what I was like, because I couldn't understand things or navigate things when I was growing up. I became that nasty woman, that didn't have friends, didn't want to speak to people. And I see it in Freya because she's confused. But now we work on breathing together. We work on her understanding her feelings. I know they hurt. I know they're not nice. I know you don't want it, but we work on them. I've got my friend journaling. Now this girl has been in business for 7 years. She's got no get up and go whatsoever. I love her to pieces, but she's so scared of her own shadow in business that she's not got very far. And now to see her light up because she's starting to practice these things, it's not just something that we do. I don't just journal and write things down because it's something that someone's told me I've got to do. It's something that I will know that will keep my mindset in a really, really good place. And that for me is priceless. But my family hear it all the time. Freya said the other day, she said, "You always tell me, Nana, deep breath."
Yeah.
But everybody's listening to that now. Everybody's seeing that person that I have become, and they're intrigued. And the messages that I got back from the group to say, "You're such a lovely lady. I'm amazed to have you in here." And they're all really nice comments. Whereas I take them on board now and say thank you. I don't go, "Oh, no, it's what I got earlier. Oh, that dress is nice. Oh, I've had it ages." You said before you look glamorous. I went, "I know." Because I'm taking them compliments. Because when I say them to somebody else, I mean it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So essentially what you're telling me is that you didn't believe them before.
Oh, God, no. They were uncomfortable. I always thought someone was trying to be a bit icky.
Exactly. That perception of ourselves is how we see the world through.
Yeah, definitely. I agree that we've already got all our limiting beliefs by the time we're 7. God, we've got so many limiting beliefs put into us. It's not wrong to be different. It's not wrong to want something more. Don't wait until you're nearly 50 to feel like I feel now.
But even if you do, right? Even if you do, you can.
Yeah, even if you do, you need it anyway because you'll grow. But I'm telling you now, don't wait. Just do it. If I could, the thing is now is if one of my daughters was, or one of my friends was in the position that I am, well, I have already, you are the first person that comes to my mind. Not because you can make a business grow 100% or because you are just a business coach for that. It is because the way you see things. And we all want to run businesses. We all want to change. The new eras are coming. But running a business and actually enjoying it is completely different. And now I enjoy my business every day. I'm consistent. I'm actually opening another one in a couple of weeks. Like I said, 6 weeks. And then 6 months after that, I've got another one that is planned in to launch. I have my new group planned in to launch in 2 months. It's took me so long to do that because I kept talking myself out of it. So for a week, I journaled about that and decided, right, that's it. It needs to go. However it goes, it is going to go. I have a wait list for that group, people that are already waiting to go in there. A girl messaged me. I should have got the message up to let you hear it. She said, "We've been friends on Facebook now for about a year. I have no idea what you do in business, but I just wanted to say that I love watching you all the time. I can't wait for the new group." And what else did she say? Yeah, so she suffered in her past as well. And she just said, watching me go through, well, obviously not go through, but watching me come out to where I am now, she said, you can see the massive change. A friend in business that I've not spoke to in ages, she said, "I went on your TikTok and saw your reels." And I'm like, oh my God, you have changed. Because I'm doing it with purpose now. I'm not led by fear. I'm led by purpose.
Oh, I absolutely adore that. Yeah.
And it's all for you. And you know what? You smile. It is you. Without you, I would not be here. I wouldn't. And I will be forever grateful for that, the impact you've made on my life. And by next year, I'll be back. I'm telling you guys, I'm getting in first. I'm having 12-month sessions every year. So if you want to get in quick, because I'm taking all of her time. Imagine where I'll be in another 12 months. I'll be the bloody queen.
Oh, Cathy, bless you. But what
No, I do mean
really
that,
lights
though.
me up, though, is that I know that you will be that person for other people. That you are using your voice now exactly where you want to be. I just, yeah, you could tell that your story has a bigger purpose here, and you didn't go through that and get to where you are without it having a bigger calling in there.
Imagine if I'd have had you, though, when I was younger. Because there isn't anything like you out there. There isn't, and we've discussed this. You go to a counsellor who wants you to talk about your feelings. Are you joking? I live with it in my head every day. I don't want to then tell you about it. It's exhausting. Whereas I didn't have to do anything with you. It was just a journey of finding whatever was going to happen. And it came automatically.
Oh, thank you, Cathy. I'm just, beyond excited and passionate, and just you give me all the feelings. I cannot wait to see what happens in the next chapter. And thank you so much for coming to join me today. Is there anything you'd like to part with? Any
Oh
message?
God, you have me in tears. I had many cry sessions, didn't I? But I don't think people realise or truly understand. It's okay listening to me here telling them what you've done for me, but like, wow, the person you are that can, I don't know, magic or just understand, it's the strangest feeling. I can't explain it as much as I want to, but I came into this not knowing, and somebody will come into this thinking this is what I want, that's why I need this mindset, and they're going to come out of it completely different because of you. And I don't think you take that on board, just how much you have changed my life. And I mean that.
You're going to get me started as well. Oh, that's
but,
say.
but I mean that. I'm grateful that I took that leap to chat with you. I'm grateful that we had that hour to see if we connected. I'm grateful that you were always there on the end of the phone for me, because I went through some big stuff in them 6 months. And do you know what? It was like having my very first best friend who I could trust. And I've never had that before.
Wow.
So that was big.
Well, thank
so I'm
you.
grateful.
Thank you for saying yes to you and to me, and for being open, because that it wouldn't have worked without that. And I'm stay tuned for the next chapter with the beautiful Cathy.
We'll be back.
Obviously we will drop links and whatnot below to find out more about Cathy, what she's doing, and obviously how you can get in touch with me. But thank you, Cathy, and we will obviously catch up soon.
Okay, my darling, I love you loads. And if anybody wants to reach out to me to ask me any questions about the things we chatted about, I'd be more than welcome to say, how this has really, really helped me.
Thank you. And
Take
be sure
care.
to drop that group as well, link as well.
Definitely. All right, my love. Take care. Bye.